There it is. All right. So today, as I told you, we're going to see the passive and the active voice. Now, what do you know about the passive and the active? I mean, you should be familiar with this. It's pretty easy, right? Well, for the active voice, remember we need a doer, an action, and a receiver. So, for example, I drink water, which is a pretty basic sentence, you know? I mean, there's nothing hard on that. So, the first thing is to identify which is which, right? So, in this case, can you tell me who is the doer of the action? Who is the receiver? And who is and what is the action? Can you tell me, guys? Guys,
I is the subject that
Subject
does the
that does the
action.
action.
yep,
Drink is the action,
yes,
and we affect
We
water.
affect water.
yep. So yes, very good. Now, this is an active sentence, okay? This is the active structure, which is the structure that we use more often, correct? Now, the passive is something like this. We still have a doer, we still have a receiver and an action. Now, in this case, the action is going to be, well, in the same place, you know? Now, the receiver, though, is going to change to the main subject. So in this case, our receiver is water, so we're just going to put it here, water. Now, the receiver is always followed by the verb be or whatever model you're using, okay? But again, with the verb be. So water is, well, a third person, so we use is. Now, after this, we have the action, which doesn't move, okay? So the action is drink. Now, for the passive voice, we have to put the verb into the past participle, correct? So what's the past participle of drink?
Drunk.
Drunk, very good. So water is drunk. Now, the doer, something funny happens with the doer. If it is not important to to present the doer to introduce it, we don't have to put it. In this case, water is drunk. You can introduce the subject, the doer of the action with this preposition by. Okay, and since it's you, I mean I, you have to transform that into me. Yes, an object pronoun, correct? Because now the doer is being affected by this, right? Well, in some sort of way, I mean, well, you understand. The doer becomes the object of the new sentence, which is in the passive, and the receiver, which was the object of the first sentence, becomes the main subject, right? Now, is drunk, well, is the action, we just have to change it. So there you have it. this is a pretty basic active and passive structure. Okay, and we'll still have the three uh, oh my god, I forgot the word. The three components. Okay, I got it back. The three components
We
of
mixed up the
the.
Mixed up the
arrows.
arrows.
Oh yes, sorry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There it is. So yeah, you get the idea. So yes, so there it is. Now this is a pretty basic structure, as I told you, which is have the three components, and that's it. We have a doer, a receiver, and an action. Now in this reading, we have something more advanced, let's say. Now we're going to take a look at this. This is a viewpoint one. This is the advanced levels book that we use. So this is from Cambridge, and it is really cool. Actually, it has some interesting topics. So it is yeah, it's nice. I like it a lot. And actually, this lesson is one of my favorites. So all right, let's take a look at it. We have grammar in context, and well, now we have a question. Well, three questions actually. Now, can you help us read the first one, Emmanuel?
The first question,
Yeah, please.
what kind of
Kind of
farms
farms
are
are
there
there in
in your country?
your country?
Thank you. The second one as well, and the third one. Now that you're here.
What do they
What do
grow
they
or
grow or
produce?
produce?
Which
Which
foods
foods
does your
does your
country import
country
and
import
export?
and export?
Okay. So we're all from Mexico, right? Well, except from Tommy, but he's living here, so he's pretty much Mexican now. Now, what do you know about this? What kinds of farms do we have here in Mexico? What do we grow or produce? And which foods does Mexico import and export?
Well, I
Well,
think
I
that
think that
farms could be
farms could be
divided in
divided in
regions.
regions.
For example, here in
For example, here in
Guerrero,
Guerrero,
have the
have the
classical farms
classical
with
farms with
big
big
farmers that
farmers that
get
get
chicken,
chicken,
pigs,
pigs, and
cows,
cows,
and
and
they grow
they grow
corn.
corn.
Sometimes
Sometimes
I forget the name
get
of
the
the
name of the
Jamaica,
Jamaica
like biscuit or
like biscuit
something.
or
I
something.
think
I think.
the word for
Or
Jamaica
for
in English.
Jamaica in English, I
I forgot the name.
Oh man, yes.
It's like biscuit or
Man, what is it?
It's
I
Jamaica.
would
It's
say
I would
Jamaica.
say
Jamaica.
Jamaica, right?
No, well, I mean, yes, it has a different name. Let's just
Yes.
call it
Yes.
Jamaica.
Okay. I'm not sure
I'm
that
not
Uh,
sure
it's
that's
like
like
biscuit
biscuit
or
or
any weird word. Also,
also the
hibiscus or something like that.
yes,
yes.
they in Guerrero
Here in
words
Guerrero words for
mango,
mango,
or coconut,
coconut,
Yes.
and
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 yes, and
we import
for
well
well
from
from
other state.
other state.
We import
We import
corn,
corn,
also
also
tomatoes,
tomatoes,
avocado.
avocado.
Avocado, man.
Okay,
Okay.
got it.
Yeah. Yes. Well, actually, Mexico is one of the biggest producers of avocado and mango to import, I mean to export, because we have all kinds of weathers, we have all of them, so we can grow pretty much everything. hmm But yes, very good. That it was a pretty extensive and accurate um, answer for those three questions. Very good. I honestly don't know a lot about that. I mean, what we produce or what we import and export, but but um, but yeah, it is really interesting. Now, here in the lesson, we have um we have an interview, a radio interview. Okay, so we're going to listen to it and we'll then answer this question: which photo best illustrates the topic? All right, now let's listen to it. Are you ready? I'll take your silence as a yes this time.
Page 84, Unit 8, Food Science. Lesson A, Vertical Farming. 1. Grammar in context. B. Listen to the radio interview. Which photo best illustrates the topic?
Okay, now the topic is vertical farming. Now, which of this do you think that best illustrates that topic? Vertical farming. Which of these four images?
C.
D. All right. Tommy says D.
C.
Emmanuel says C. What do you guys think? The rest, Gina, Lizzie, Miss Maddie. Well, actually, it's just girls. So what do you girls think? All
In my
right.
case, say
Okay.
There's
A, B, and
A,
C.
B, and C.
A, B, and C. All right. All of them illustrate vertical farming. Okay. Well, let's listen to this interview and see if we had that correct. Okay. So Tommy goes for D. Emmanuel says it's C. And Lisi and Gina think that it is A, B, and C all together. So let's listen to this and see if we are correct. Okay.
By the year 2025, the world population is expected to rise to 8 billion. In order to grow enough food, it is estimated that 1 billion hectares, almost 2.5 billion acres, of new land will be needed. That is, if the farming methods that are practiced today continue. Environmentalists say something must be done if food shortages are going to be avoided. That's why the idea of vertical farming is being discussed at an eco-conference this week. Celia Hernandez, our environmental correspondent, joins me. Celia, what is vertical farming, and where did the idea come from?
The idea was developed by Dixon Despommier, a professor at Columbia University, back in 1999. Vertical farms are basically high-rise greenhouses that can be built in cities. So crops will be grown indoors and in water instead of in soil.
So which is the correct answer then?
D.
Letter D. Yes. Very good, Tommy. So this is what a vertical farm looks like. It is a high building with, well, a lot of uh, a lot of water instead of soil. Okay, let's continue listening.
And what are the advantages of growing food in this way?
Well, supporters say it's more reliable because crops won't be affected by weather conditions like drought or cold. It's also more environmentally friendly because waste can be composted and water will be recycled. And because crops will be grown, harvested, and consumed in the same urban area, transportation costs will be greatly reduced. So in theory, food should be cheaper too.
Okay. So what do you think about this? Do you think do you think it is good for us? I mean, in general as a humanity, do you think it is good? It is bad? What do you think? You're muted, Miss Maddie.
Okay,
Okay, I think
it's very
it's very
important
important
that
that
learning
learning
um,
um,
in the
the
reading
reading
and
and
make sure
make
that
sure
the
that
food
the food
be
is
prepared
prepared
Mm,
and
and
the
the
transportation
transportation
of food will
will
be
be
easy.
easy.
okay. Yes. So yeah, it would be more eco-friendly, as I mean, it would be more than regular farming, as this interview says. So yeah, now let's first before we continue with part C, let's identify the parts that are, well, not the parts, but the the sentences that are passive, that are the passive voice, which is why we're here actually. So what can you tell me, please, following the reading, what is the first passive voice sentence that you can see? Let's identify them all. Remember that the structure has to be like this. So, which is the first? Emmanuel.
I'm still reading. Still reading.
Is expected.
Yes, the world population is expected. What else? Follow the reading, and if you find one, tell me. So, the world population is expected to rise to 8 billion. In order to grow enough food, it is estimated that 1 billion hectares, almost 2.5 billion acres of new land will be needed. This is actually all part of the same sentence. That is, if the farming methods are practiced today continue. Environmentalists say something must be done. Something must be done if food shortages are going to be avoided. Food, oh my God. Food shortages are going to be avoided. That's why the idea of vertical farming, the idea is being discussed at an ECHO conference this week. Celia Hernandez, our environmental correspondent, joins me. Celia, what is vertical farming and where did the idea come from? The idea, the idea was developed by Dixon Depomier, a professor at Columbia University back in 1999. So vertical farms are basically high-rise greenhouses that can be built in cities. So crops will be grown indoors and in water instead of in soil. And what are the advantages of growing food in this way? Well, supporters say it's more reliable because
won't be affected.
crops won't be affected by weather conditions. It's also more environmentally friendly because waste can be composted and water will be recycled. And because crops will be grown, harvested, and consumed, transportations transportation costs will be greatly reduced. Mhm. And that's it. Yep. So those are the yeah, all the passive voice expressions or sentences that we can find here in this reading, correct? Did we miss any, or we have all of them? Yeah, I think we have all of them. All right, good. So do you see the structure? It is the same, right? It's here, only with bigger words, let's say. Okay, now part C says answer the questions about the interview. So Miss Maddie, can you please read the first question?
Why is transferment an important topic?
Mhm. So do you have the answer? Why do you think this is important? What do you think this is important?
Because because it
say
said
that
could be you know
know,
um used in
using
cities, big
cities in
cities,
big cities
because they don't gonna
they don't
need
gonna
a
need a
great
great
extension of land.
extension of land.
Mhm.
Okay.
Also, when
So when
the
the
rains,
rains,
coming,
coming,
so
so
it's not vertical, so all
vertical,
the
so
water
all
is
the
going
water is going
down.
down.
All right.
They're
Good.
going to be able to say
Able
what.
to say what?
Yep. Yeah. So basically, yep. Okay. Gina, can you read the second question, please?
Yes. Yes. What will vertical farm? Where will they be?
So can you answer that?
Mm, yes, I think that it's like the picture. No, where will they be? Like um, I don't know, in Japan or
Well, according to the reading, they could be, I mean, pretty much everywhere you can put them in cities or wherever, and they're going to be fine because this is some sort of vertical building that is going to be, well, it's not going to take a lot of space, so they can pretty much build it anywhere. Now, Lisi, can you read the third question, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
in what
in
ways
what
are
ways are
vertical farms
vertical
different
farms
from the
different from the
conventional farms?
conventional farms? Mhm.
Um,
Um,
well, in my
well, in my
opinion,
opinion,
the
the
conventional
conventional
farms,
farms,
I think they
I
use
think
more
they use
water,
more water,
and the
and the
vertical farm
vertical farm,
they
they
they use
they
less
use less
water. They
water.
don't use a
They
lot,
don't use less,
and they don't use a
a
lot of land
lot of
like
land,
like
like
that.
they said.
And the
Mhm.
others
And the
ones they
others
use a lot,
ones, they use a lot,
so they have
so they
more water.
have more water. Yes, good. So basically, vertical farms are not going to use soil at all.
Yeah.
Instead of that, they're going to use only water. Very
Mm-hmm.
good. And the last one, Tommy, please.
Why
Why
will
will
vertical
vertical
farming
farming
be cheaper?
cheaper?
It's because we can
It's because we
recycle
can
the water.
recycle the water.
We can
We
recycle
can
the
recycle the
nutrients
nutrients
and the
and
waste.
the waste. Yes.
Everything is in one
Everything is in one
location,
location,
so transport
so
is cheaper
transport
as
is
well.
cheaper as well. Yes. Very good. So yeah, that's pretty much all about vertical farming. What do you think about it? I mean, do you think it would work here in Mexico for us to have that?
For wheat, maybe.
Wheat,
Yes,
maybe.
yes. I think it will
I think
work,
it will work,
especially in Mexico
especially in
City.
Mexico City.
Well,
Well,
actually, people,
actually, people
using, I don't know if it's correct to say that, like group farming
group
or
farming
some
or some
farming.
farming. Okay. Like they have these kind of greenhouses
Yes, they have their
on the
own
their own rooftops.
people.
Yes, their own mini farms.
Yeah,
Let's call them. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I reckon it would be good for a while, just until they rise prices of water, for example, or transportation, or even charging you a lot just to have one of those in your city. But I mean, that's just politics. So I don't like politics that much to get into that. so so let's move on. So in to sum up, I think vertical farming would be a better way um to help the environment. I just a thought. I don't know. All right, let's continue. I just erase everything. Okay, good. Now we have here the passive, and in this grammar, they explain how to use the passive and how to identify it, or to, well, yeah, the differences that they have between the active and the passive between an active and a passive sentence. So let's read. It says you can use the passive to make the receiver of an action the focus when you don't know the doer. or if you feel the doer is not important. You can introduce the doer with by. And we have some examples. Can you read the first one, please, Emmanuel?
Yeah, the first example,
Mhm. First the active and then the passive.
active sentence. Expert
Expert
expert.
expert.
Population to rise.
Mhm.
Do I read
The
the
passive,
whole examples or just the first one?
not just the first one, with the active and the passive form.
Expert
Expert expert
expect.
expect.
The population rise.
Population rise.
Passive
Passive
sentence.
sentence.
The population is
Population
expected
is
to rise.
expected to rise.
I think there is
I think
an
there is
echo
an
in the
echo in
audio.
the audio.
Yeah, I think there is. But all right, it's gone. What did you do? Oh, you muted yourself. So it was probably that. All right, thank you. Ms. Maddie, can you read the second example, active and passive?
A professor developed the idea was developed by a professor.
Thank you. Gina, number 3, please. Active and passive.
They haven't built vertical farms. Vertical farms haven't been.
Good, thank you. Lizzie, please. Next.
They are going to discuss the issue. The issue is going to be discussed.
Thank you. Tommy, next, please.
They'll grow water. Crops will be grown in water.
Thank you. Emmanuel, the next, please. The weather.
So the weather won't
One
affect
effect.
crops.
Crops.
Passive sentence. Crops won't be
Crops
affected
won't be
by the
affected
weather.
by the weather.
Thank you. Miss Maddie, the last one.
Someone must clean something must be done.
Very good. And if you notice, when the doer of the action, in this case, well, our cases, we have someone, we have they, we have they, we have experts. You know, when we have these expressions, these subjects, let's call them, well, the doer is not really important, or it is unknown, right? So we don't have to introduce it with by. Okay, so in the case of a professor developed the idea, it is important to introduce that this was developed by a professor, not just anyone, right? And in this case, the weather won't affect crops. You know, crops won't be affected, will be just too general, right? But now, since we have a doer here, which is the weather, we have to introduce it because it is specific, right? Correct. Okay, good. Now we have an exercise here. We have the second part of the of the interview. Okay. Now the underlined expressions are in the active form. Okay. Now what we need to do is to transform this active sentences into into passive sentences. All right. So let's take 2 minutes to do it. And when you finish, we're going to check with the audio. All right. Go ahead. 2 minutes, please. I'll be right back. Ready? Or not yet?
No yet.
Okay. Ready? Guys. Guys. Please talk to me. Tell me.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, you're ready. All right. Um, okay. So let's write first our answers and then check. So the first one, just tell me the underlined, or will the passive form of the underlined sentence. So the first one is, they do this already. How would it be in the passive? Yes, this is done already. Remember that they is not an important doer, so we don't have to we don't have to introduce it. Very good. They add nutrients. How would it be?
Nutrients.
Are added.
The plants use less energy.
Less
Energy
energy
used by plants.
Mhm. And plants that they grow in this way grow faster and bigger. How would it be?
Are grown.
Yes.
It's, it's
People often say that they use too many pesticides. How would that be?
sites.
Too many
Sites are used.
Mhm. In farming. They won't need pesticides. How would that be?
Pesticides won't be needed.
Mm-hmm. Won't be needed. Um, they'll protect the crops. They'll protect the crops.
Crops will be protected.
Yes. Crops will be protected. um, they will reduce the use of pesticides. How would that be?
The use of pesticides will be reduced.
Yes. Pesticides have contaminated no one.
Where are we?
Pesticides have contaminated. So how would it be?
Which con
It's the same tense. We're gonna have we don't have to change tenses. We just have to change well the location of the words. Exactly. Pesticides which have been contaminated by pesticides. Good. We are going to see vertical forms. Yes, that vertical forms are going to be seen in our cities soon. Is that true? Well, they can't build them.
they they count they can't they can build
They can't be
can
built
they can be built.
mhm, without more research. They carried out some trials last year. How would that be?
It's some
Some
trials
trials
carry
carried out. Mhm. And they wrote a report.
report
was written, but they haven't published it yet. Mhm. But it hasn't been
Been published.
hasn't been published yet. I'd say they are not going to build them. How that be? They are not going to build them. They are not going to be built. Very good. They are not. They're not going to be built anytime soon. We must not ignore the situation and should take action. How would that be? We must not ignore the situation. Situation must not be ignored and action should be taken. Yes. And action should be taken. We're going to we're going to need more food.
Because more food
More food
is being can I see the sentence?
more
More
food
food
is
is going to be
yes, more food is going to be needed. We need to find a solution yes, solution must oh sorry needs to be found soon. Very good. Okay, now we're going to listen to this second part of the interview and check our answers. Ready?
Page 85. 2. Grammar. Information focus. B. Rewrite the underlined parts of the sentences from the rest of the interview. Use the passive and add by where it is needed. Then listen and check your answers. 1.
So crops will be grown in water? I know this is done already, but how does it work?
Well, nutrients are added to the water, so less energy is used by the plants to get the nutrients. And plants that are grown in this way grow faster and bigger.
2.
People often say that too many pesticides are used in farming. Do vertical farms use them?
No, pesticides won't be needed. This is because the crops will be protected inside the building, so the use of pesticides will be reduced, and groundwater, which has been contaminated by pesticides for years, will be cleaner.
3.
Now, reports say that vertical farms are going to be seen in our cities soon. Is that true?
Well, they can't be built without more research. Some trials were carried out last year and a report was written, but it hasn't been published yet. I'd say they're not going to be built anytime soon. But environmentalists say the situation must not be ignored, and action should be taken soon because more food is going to be needed with the population increasing by 5,000 a day. They say that a solution needs to be found soon.
Okay, very good. So I reckon the only mistake was here. Where is it? Yes. Here. So we're supposed to be, it's supposed to be has, because I honestly read waters, ground waters, because of this S, but it's groundwater. So exactly, yes. So has been contaminated by pesticides. Very good. Okay. Well, very good. Do you have any questions so far? Or is everything okay? What do you think? All the answers. Sure, just okay. Let's try to move them here. So no questions? All good? Yes?
Yes, all good, thank you.
Okay, very good. All right, now.
Page 85.
So these are more, well, this is another grammar chart. It's called Grammar Extra. Now we have the question forms in the passive. Now, in most passive questions, the auxiliary verb is, were, have, etc., or modal verb will, can, etc., comes before the subject. Now we have examples here. The population is expected to rise. Is the population expected to rise? When is it expected to rise? So it is basically just a question, only using the auxiliary, I mean the passive form of the sentence, but it is the same idea as any other question. Okay, so is this clear, or can we move on? Do we need to look at the examples, guys?
Yes, it's okay. Okay.
It's okay. All right, good. Um, all right, very good. Let's continue. Now we have here another exercise, this time with questions for the passive. Okay. Now, in these questions, well, in this exercise, the answer, which is the question here, is going to be in part B, right? So you have to read all of it so you can get the question. All right. Take 2 more minutes to complete exercise A. Then we check, and then we go to exercise B. All right. Go ahead, please. 2 minutes. Ready? Guys.
Ready.
All right. Let's check. Number 2.
Who?
Who?
Yo?
Uh, whoever wants to participate. Yeah, go ahead, Tommy.
Can more
More
food be
food be
produced
produced
to feed this
to feed
population?
this population?
Yes. Can more food be produced? Yes. Number 3.
Have several of it.
Can you repeat that, please?
Yes, have several methods of it.
Mm-hmm. Have several methods been developed to increase the food supply? Yes. Number 4. Lizzie, number 4. Lizzie. Okay, Miss Maddie. Anyone? Number 4.
I'm sorry. I'm here.
Yeah, number 4, please.
Okay. We have been used the vertical for me.
Well, no, not really. Uh, take a look at the auxiliary we're using. We don't have. It is
Is being used the vertical for me.
is. Remember, for questions we have the auxiliary, then we have the subject, and then the action, right? So is vertical farming being used anywhere at the moment? Very good. Okay, now let's take 2 more minutes to finish part B. Okay, it is the same idea, it is the same it's the same instruction. Okay, take a look at the answer so you can find the question. All right, take 2 minutes, please. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's check. Number 2, Gina.
Where is this method of farming called?
Perfect. Number 3, Emmanuel.
And this it. Who was Phonics first used. In ancient times.
Can you repeat that, please?
What's hydrophonic?
Hydroponics used
First, first
first used.
hydroponics first used by
Yeah, perfect. Who was hydroponics first used by? Very good. Number 4, Miss Maddie. All right, Lizzie. Tommy.
Where are most hydroponic crops?
grown.
Yeah, perfect. Where are most hydroponic crops grown? Number 5, Gina. How?
Yes. How um, the land um, land in concert.
All right, let's do it together.
Okay.
Let's find the auxiliary first. What's the auxiliary here?
Can.
Can, very good. So how can, because the auxiliary needs to go first, right? Now, what else do we need? We need a subject, correct?
Subject.
Okay, so what's the subject?
Land.
Land. How can land, then what is the action?
Be conserved.
Concert.
Okay, then how can land be conserved? And then, well, the complement, right? Be conserved.
In urban areas.
Yes. How can, oh my God. Yes, how can land be conserved in urban areas? You see, it was easy. We just need to identify our components of the sentence, okay? Or in this case, for the question. And the last one, Emmanuel.
What kind of cost will be reduced?
Yes. And
Urban farming.
perfect. Very good. What kind of costs would be reduced by urban vertical farming? Perfect. Brilliant. All right. So time is over. So I'm going to send you homework, okay? Because we have some more exercises that we need to practice with. So can I erase this so I can show you the exercises?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, good. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's it. Okay, so I'm going to send you these 7 images. Well, I'm going to send you 4 and 3 we're going to do them here tomorrow. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right, good. Because I know that most of you, or all of you actually, work and have other things to do. So I'm going to send you four for you to practice. All right. It is I think it's fair. All right. So, well, I reckon that's it for today. Then I'm going to send that to you as soon as possible, if I can, right now, to the WhatsApp group. Okay, and you can. Don't worry, Miss Mary. That's fine. Okay, so guys, remember, if anything happens, you can always text me and let me know that you're not going to be able to be here, and that would be totally fine. All right, you can always watch the video the next day, and if you have any questions, we can review some of the things that we saw the day you didn't come. Okay, so don't worry. But I mean, I encourage you to be here so we can take advantage of the time that we have. All right. All right. Good. Well, okay. It was a quick lesson, I think, but it is not that hard. What do you think? Did you learn something new today, or it was mostly a review?
It was a good review and a good refresh for the knowledge.
All right. Good. So the passive is only, well, it's a little bit more than just changing places with some with the doer and receiver of the action, right? Because in this well, at this level, we have models, we have more tenses involved, right? So we just need to identify the parts of the sentence, and it would be really easy. Yes.
Also, also we have to learn how the verb change. For example, in the active voice is present or present continuous. We have to remember that for passive we have to change, maybe for present continue with a being, or if it is in past, so we have to know that we have to change, for example, with the present perfect.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, well, in this particular case, the verb be is going to be a huge part of, well, the structure of this kind of sentence. All right, because the verb be is the one that will give you the let's say, the if it is a continuous or not, and most of the times it is going to give you the tense of the sentence. hmm So it's mostly, yeah, just working with the verb be, and just knowing how to use it along with models, along with auxiliaries, and all that, and obviously with subjects, and that's it. I mean, well, it sounds simple, right? But in practice, it could not be as simple as that. So we need to practice, and that's why I'm going to send you these four images so you can practice what we saw today. Okay, so tomorrow we can just reinforce it and move on to the next topic, right? All right, very good. Well, do you have any comments? Do you have any questions? Do you have anything to say? Now, all good. We're all on the same page. Yes, amazing.
All right, teacher. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, well, if that's it, thank you for being here today. I know most of you make a big effort to be here with all your responsibilities, all your whatever you do. So I thank you for your time, guys. It is really nice to have you here as always. So, well, that's it for today. Thank you very much and have a lovely evening. And I will see you tomorrow.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful
See
night.
you. Bye.
Bye bye. Take care.